Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna build a new Star Wars mock. So we are gonna put the minifigure habitat that I've been building recently on the side. If you wanna see something still habitat related, you can check out my Grogu minifigure habitat. While today we're gonna move to something bigger, something in the size of what I built for the Tales of the Jedi not long ago. Today we are gonna build a scene from Endor, one of the recent Star Wars TV shows. So here is a minifigure that I put together. It was very challenging for me to put together a minifigure for this mock. So what I came out with for all these inmates from this prison scene is basically white minifigures with an orange arm. Later I also find a way to work around it a little bit. This is one of those pieces of machinery that they are building in this prison. I actually find online, I think on BrickVault on Instagram, one that was very, very good, one mini build, but I didn't have the parts to do that. So this is the best thing that I could came up with my pieces. But let's start to bring in the base and I'm gonna show you how I build it. So here is the base. We have mostly a white floor. I changed the color here in the center because in the show we can see a little bit of different color, not that dark actually, but I think it helps to break a little bit the build. I didn't create a big base, it's actually just one plate and one tile, and I started to build up the white walls of this prison. This scene is based, I think, on episode 10 of Endor. So we are on Narkina 5 and Endor and the other inmates are trying to break out from this prison. So here we have a scene where actually Endor is coming out of a sort of toilet room or break room and the water starts to flow in as part of the plan for their escape. Endor is gonna go in there. I think we can already add the minifigure. So what I did here for Endor is that actually I use a back torso. The front cannot be seen, so I'm gonna replace it at the back like this. I decided to not use the legs here, but just brick build them so I could add a little bit of extra details in orange as part of their uniform and add the minifigure here. So what he did here is he used something to jam the lift halfway through. Now here we have a big gap, so we can start to add a little bit in there. So here you have some black tiles. This is where this elevator, this lift is running. So I build them on the left and the right side. And now I can bring in a bigger structure. So we have some sort of tunnel kind of thing that go this way into the show. This is actually a little bit too small, I think, compared to minifigures. But I think it works out pretty well because it gives a good sense of depth. And we have a couple of colors there. There is actually a lot of sort of white kind of lights in this scene, but I'm not sure how to recreate that with the pieces that I have available. So what I use mostly is this trans clear brick over there, plates, to recreate this sort of lights that we have inside the prison. Over here I decided to brick build a little bit sideways with some stock technique the wall. I thought it looked a little bit nicer actually. Probably doesn't make any difference. I could have just maybe build with regular brick like this, but I decided to build it like this so I can have the tiles facing outward. I think it looks a bit smoother, but anyway, I think it doesn't make that much difference. So here we have the back wall a little bit bigger. I wanted to create also a little bit of the wall on this side, which actually is a wall that is inclined in two directions. I didn't have much pieces to do that, so I decided to do a little bit smaller. So here I make a little bit of structure, and we already have a part of the bridge on top that later I will show you how it's built. This is gonna connect over here. And I also added a couple of brackets here that are gonna stop this structure. So what I build is this. So we have two walls connected at the back with some ball joints. This is gonna sit on those cheese plates, and the bracket will prevent it to fall down. So this is gonna slide in and then I can push everything down nicely. So here we have a little bit an idea, an hint on how this wall then should proceed all the way around the big room. And we actually have some straight lights in the show. Here I decided to use this rounded one. These are not actually transparent, but they are kind of opalescent, kind of round tiles. I think they works out pretty well to create a little bit of light effect over there. I think we can start to build up a little bit more on top and then add the minifigure later, because they really help to bring this build to life. Now, let's build the second floor. So here I have a big structure, mostly I use a big plate. We have the entryway for the guards to come out on the bridge, and here we also have a sort of control room. It's not detailed, but what I wanted to do is to add one minifigure there with a sort of scary face. Doesn't matter now the body of the minifigure. What matters is only the head, because we're gonna be able to see this actually from the window. So this is gonna connect here on top. Let's see if I can push down everything without making any mess. Hopefully everything going smoothly with no issue on camera. Here again I did a little bit of snot techniques to build up this door. This is not actually the correct shape of the door in the show, but I had to take some creative liberties based on the pieces that I have available in my collection. Another example is this one. So this fence that we have around the bridge, it shouldn't be black, it should be in light bluish gray, but I didn't have any antennas, any rod pieces to build that. I mean, I didn't have enough. Here we are gonna block that at the back. Again, same technique. We are just gonna add some tiles at the back, so we have a little bit of texture to the door, and now we can start to add the bridge. So this one is just gonna connect underneath the tile, very straightforward. So this is the same as that one, and then in the center we actually have the bridge that is supposed to be here. The guards come in from here, and then they're gonna lower it, and then they can access the bottom floor where the inmates are. This is actually going down, and then Endor is gonna jam it and block it halfway through. That's why I added these two parts that are gonna connect at the anti-stud here at the bottom to block it halfway and also keep it at a slight angle. Okay, let me see if I can find the right spot right away. There we go. So now you can see that this is already at a different angle, and this is what happened in the show, and then they start slowly to climb up. And again, here I use some trans clear plates to create those sort of lights. They should be a little bit like bright white or yellow, but I didn't have anything that fits that, because they're not actually yellow, but they're more like a very bright white. Now I think we can start to add a little bit of detail in form of minifigure, and I also want to block this on the top so that not much can be seen of what's happening there. So let's add a couple of guards. So we have one guard over here on top. This again, I turn the torso upside down, inside out, so it doesn't really matter. He has a gun. I use a sort of black helmet because I didn't have any helmet that fits like the ones in the scene. I think this one we can put it in a way like if he's trying to avoid stuff that has been thrown at them. Okay, then we can add one more here, actually shooting with a blaster. We have one of these power blasts that works really well. I think we can add him over here, shooting down. Maybe we can tilt him forward a little bit. I had a very hard time to put together this minifigure because I really didn't have the right colors to do this, but it kind of works. Then over here I'm gonna add another guard, one at the bottom. This one has been sort of shot. Another one we can add it here falling. The measurement is not correct. This should be bigger and taller, but I didn't want to make this too big. So the minifigure I showed you at the beginning is actually the one I'm gonna use to attack this guard with a sort of stuff that release some electricity. So this we can connect to that jumper over there, and is the one that's actually attacking the guard, giving that electricity shock that sent him on the ground. Okay, so here the scene already is coming to life. Now let's add the workstation. This is supposed to be, I think, 6 ways. Here instead I decided to do just 3 to make it simple. I use some slopes and some curved inverse slope. We can mount this here at a sort of an angle, one over here and one on the other side. Here you can see that we have this transparent antenna that is holding this, in this case it's a lightsaber, but it's just supposed to be some kind of metal accessory that has been thrown at them. We can put some more over there. And for example, here we have this one. Again, the torso, I just twisted upside down. We can put it over there, like if he just throw this towards the guard, and actually they're shooting back at him. Over on the other side, we can put one more. This is in the act of shooting. Again, this one actually is an Octan torso, but we turn it upside down, so when I will take picture of this, we will not be able to see actually the original torsos. So I think the scene is working out pretty well. But let's try to add a little bit more details. So we need to complete the scene over there. So here again, sideways, I build up this window so we can block the control panel over there. And then I also added a little bit of cover here on the side, because in a moment I will show you the last touch that I did to the mock. Here I added something for when they make their announcement, when the guards are coming in. I didn't see anything like this in the show, but I think it fits well in this scene. And as a last little touch, we need to add the two sort of piece of machinery that they are building in this prison. There's supposed to be a lot of tables and a lot of these everywhere. And what they have also is some tools that come from the top that they can use to work on the station. One of those is actually broken in the show, that is representing by this flexible hose, and is sort of pushing out some air, I think, or water, because it breaks. So here I added this sort of crystal piece, and now I'm gonna attach this to an angle over here, and this is gonna be the last touch to this build. To add a little bit of additional details. This one we can move it a little bit if we want. They are on jumpers, so they are easily removable and rearranged. So this is the mock. I hope you like it, guys. Let me know also what you think about the show Endor. This was probably the best episode. That's why it takes so long to build a mock from the show, because for the rest it's been quite slow. I like the show, but Tales of the Jedi was way better in my opinion. Anyway, let me know what you think about this, and if you like this Star Wars vignette, I recommend you check it out, my series of vignette based on Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. I built 5 scenes from 5 episodes of the show, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao ciao!